Thank you very much. Pleasure. Appreciate you. Can we keep standing and just give a big round of applause to you for being here? Come on, raise it up. Are you guys ready to go higher? Can we even do that after those testimonies? All right. And for the people in the back, I didn't see you standing. There's so many coordinators here. Thank you so much. All right, you can sit down. All right, so I'm David Goki, and I'm incredibly excited to be here. This is such an honor and a privilege just to be here on stage and just to share from my heart. In fact, many of you don't know this or wouldn't know this, but Riverside County is where I was originally born. I was born right here in Riverside County, and I had a Korean mother who met my German father, and here I am. And so that's that. No, it's incredible to be back here. You know, as a kid, and as soon as I get my slides up, you'll see my little baby photo. You know, I had a dream, right? I think that's the first step, is you have to have a little dream inside you. I really appreciate that you pulled that out of us. And it was a little uncomfortable, right? We were all there. But if you don't have that dream written down, then how can you know, and who can read it and who can run with it if it's not written on a tablet? So the first thing that I wanted to share with you is that dream started as a young kid when my dad came home with a computer. Now he brought this computer home, and I remember playing around on it. He was in the aerospace engineering area, and he was drafting on the computer. Before you would have, some of you in construction, I met Raul with the construction company over here, and he was telling me about drafting in his first computer and how the computers actually transformed his ability to build his business. And even as a young kid, and maybe when he couldn't afford much, he saved up to get that computer. And my dad did the same thing, and that really resonated with me. That God's going to put that on your heart. He put it on my heart to save up and put that talent. And so I would consider myself something we call a kingdom technologist. Obed was like, this is kind of a faith crowd, but not really. So I'm going with the non-faith stuff. I took out a couple things, but kingdom is not Jehovah's Witnesses. Okay. Obed picked me up. We're wearing the same white top and the same gray pants. I said, where's their name tags at? And as a kingdom technologist, faith is not just a pillar, right? It is integrated into your whole life. Whether you believe in Jesus, Buddha, you believe in your Bentley, you believe in your Honda dealership, whatever it is, we all have a belief system. I'm not going to talk about that today. I'm going to talk about AI. So we're going to get there. But kingdom to me means the kingdom of God, specifically monodeity, meaning one God. And one God simply means that there's a universal creator. In the beginning, God created, right? God spoke into existence. And you are a creation. And many of you have created and then stepped back and saw your very own creation also create. So I'm not quite there yet. I'm the younger one of the four panelists up here. But I'll say this, that as a creator, God put that creation inside of you. So tap inside of that. All right. So as I move into the next piece, I want to tell you a little bit about Grab TV because it's so important. As a young kid, I would always watch The Apprentice. Now, this is not a political thing, whether you believe in, whatever side it is, exactly. Yeah, the phone doesn't even like it. Like, no politics. But by the grace of God, we were able to. I can't even. All right. So we were able to deploy our technology just 1 week after Donald Trump was convicted of 36 felony counts in New York with Dr. Phil. And the beauty of this is that independent of politics, we were able to reach over 179,000 responses. So incredible. And what I want to share is that even on the next slide, just 1 week ago, I was able to share this testimony in Washington, D.C. in front of over 10,000 people. God is so good. Come on. And so Obed gives me a call. He's like, hey, I actually have a conference this next week. Can you fly out and close this, bring us higher? And I said, absolutely. Absolutely. And that's relationship. And so the next slide, what I want to really dive into is the Grab TV technology for a second. So if Some of you are advanced AI. Some of you don't even know what a cell phone is. And whatever, yeah, my grandma, she got a flip phone. Pull out your camera and just hover over that, and a little link will come up, whether you have a Google phone or iPhone, or if you're in China, you got a Huawei phone. And what you're gonna see is a very simple poll, a live polling experience. Now, we're in a live event here, we're not watching TV, but on TV, you'll be able to eventually tap and vote. One click to vote. You'll be able to tap and buy, one click to shop. And our team is responsible for building this. It's just a couple questions saying, how familiar are you with AI? And so as you're clicking on that, you'll see a couple things in the bottom. We have sponsorships. So shout out to Powered by Grab TV. I also see, okay, we got some results coming in. Wow, a good portion of you do actually feel comfortable. 40% of you feel somewhat comfortable. That's awesome. The second one is around how familiar are you with AI? And you're gonna see those live results pop up right away. I want you to play with that. And I think it's important for you to have access to new technologies like this. And so I would not have, I couldn't come here with my chairman and my CEO and the head of product without giving you a wonderful demo. Thank you. I appreciate that. All right, so today's talk is 3 sections. So the next real key focus is about identity. And they told me I got 30 minutes on post-lunch, so I got like 15 minutes left. So I'm gonna breeze through this. We're gonna talk about identity, the future, and empowerment. Okay? Everyone say identity. Identity. I can't see the screen, so I'm gonna sit down. All right. So let's read this together. I am a dignified human being, not because of my pigmentation, my eyes, my ears, or my lips. I'm a dignified, quality, first-class, powerful human being because I was made in the image of God. I'm just gonna say down here if that's okay. Can you say first class? First class. All right. I love this. You should have been there with the Pentecostal audience. By this time, people were running around. It was amazing. So all right, so next slide is really gonna dive a little bit deeper into this identity piece. So if you're like, David, I don't know about intelligence. What is this intelligence thing you're talking about, this AI thing? And I was just gonna say, at the very top, you have divine intelligence. Now, I didn't make this up, okay? This is by Righteous AI, the Christian Voice and Ethical AI Conversation, a PhD dissertation by Dr. Gretchen Huizinga, University of Washington School of Education. Take a deep breath. So what they did is they got a focus group of people together. Catholics, agnostics, Buddhists, they got a handful of people that were multidisciplinary across multiple faiths, and they said, do you believe in a higher power? Of course, everyone says yes. All right, so tell me about your human intelligence that higher power created you, right? Each and every single one of you were created. We talked about this in the identity. Well, what about machine intelligence? I don't know if any of you have used AI sometimes, but sometimes it's kind of stupid. Genuinely. Like AI can hallucinate. It will make up little things. It doesn't really understand the purpose of existence. It certainly doesn't understand God. But if you think about this from a theological perspective, from an academic perspective, if you create your kids until they're 18, you have a pretty significant influence in them. And since all humans created all AI technology, there is never, and I'm going to get pretty excited about this, there's never a place where machine intelligence will ever overthrow us. So whether you're pre-trib or post-trib, or you're pre-AI takeover or post-AI takeover, or whatever you believe, the divine intelligence is always going to be more supreme than machine intelligence. Machine intelligence, in the small print, least of them all. Why? Because we're first class. Identity. Once you get your identity right, and I'm a young guy, I'm 35. Actually, Obed, my birthday's tomorrow, so this is my birthday gift to you. And I had a little thing that popped up in the algorithm. It's like, oh, you're 35, so let's read this. By age 35, you should be smart enough to know these 6 things. I'm like, what 6 things? Like, am I a 3rd grader or am I 35? 1, stay silent sometimes. Not everything needs to be said. 2, if you meet someone smarter than you, don't compete because competition is a weakness. Yeah, you guys had some inspirational thoughts, so I had to share some of my own. 3, it's like every quote, like, man, that's a good quote. I gotta take a picture of every single quote. All right, 3, the family you build is more important than the family you come from. 4, it's better to have one true friend who's genuinely happy for you and encourages your dreams. Acquaintances that are lazy, self-centered, and jealous of your success, you don't need that negativity. Some of you might need to social media fast for a little bit because there's a lot of negativity out there. 5, you'll be much happier if you forgive your parents instead of blaming them. And whoa. And 6, forget about reading 100 self-help books. You just need to take action and show some discipline. And that's how you win. Right? That's how you win. All right, so the identity, we got the identity down. Say divine intelligence is greater than human intelligence. Is greater than machine intelligence. All right, you got it. All right, next. All right, so what's the solution to ethical AI? Okay, guys, let's be real. I'm ex-Microsoft. I was getting breakfast this morning, preparing, and Bill walks in, like in his shorts. I'm like, is that Bill? He's like, yeah, it's Bill. He's here every day. And I was like, I didn't know Bill Gates lived in Indian Wells. That's incredible. And he's not thinking about AI ethical architecture. That's for sure. But the solution is ethical, Christ-centered people with a biblical worldview. And if you don't believe in the Bible, you could say with an ethical or a faith-based worldview or a moral compass worldview, building the technology. So if you're out there, you're hesitant about AI right now, first of all, I'm going to speak to you. There's someone out there that needs to hear this, that you were created to build. Yeah. You were created to build technology. You were created to build a divine, intelligence-driven technology that's going to change the world. And it will change the world today. It already has. It's going to change the world tomorrow. It's going to change the world after that. And by the time you're gone, AI will be integrated into everything that we do. All right. The future. We have identity, we have future. Now it's time to equip you with information. So get ready for some notes. And for those of you taking pictures, I'll give you an opportunity to get all the slides after with a quick scan. So the future. You saw Elon, go back. We saw Elon's robot up there. So Elon launched his Tesla robot. If you didn't know, it's kind of like iRobot, except like he told him what to say, and then he didn't tell you that he scripted it, and then he stepped back and said it was a live demo, they're gonna take over? No. Right after they launched the bots, let me slow down. This little bot was sitting there, is like waving and like having a conversation, but it was not automatic. It was not autonomous. You have a flying car up there. They do actually have flying cars under 50 grand now. You can buy them. They'll be in market soon, like grandma or like your kid could drive it autonomously. We had a conversation this morning about autonomous Teslas, and so there will be autonomous flights as well. And then of course, drone delivery. Drones are already here. But the next slide is going to make this more applicable, right? We're going to talk about ChatGPT. So just for a second, raise of hands, how many people have even heard of ChatGPT? Okay, keep your hand up if you're using it every month, once a month, once a week, once a day, daily. Okay, we have some daily. Daily? Okay. Can you click next slide, please? So just some quick stats, and I'm not going to read these, but 200 million active users surpassed 1 million in 5 days. How long did it take Netflix and Instagram to surpass 100 million? Just 1 million. So OpenAI gets 1.5 billion views a month, 56% traffic from YouTube. Dre, it's actually down from 76% last year, which was really interesting to me. YouTube's training people, and they click on it, it goes to ChatGPT. And then only 20% of the traffic is in the US. Guys, we got to get ahead. Come on. Right here in Indian Wells, right here in the Palm Desert. Microsoft invested 10 billion. They own a portion of it. So next click, last year on his birthday. So ChatGPT is just 2 years old. Does that make it even a toddler? No, it's like Terrible Threes is toddler, right? It's still a baby. Get in while it's a baby. It's like free. This year, one more click. doubled in value. And guess what? Now, just this week, I'm gonna get out of this light. They are integrating search into the GPT prompt. So I'm saying you can go into an app on your phone, just like Google Search. Google's got to watch out for this. It's actually powered by Google Maps and Google Search too. But you can search and it will answer every single question that you can possibly think of. So start with a faith prompt. Hey, I had to look up Deuteronomy 1:11, and Raul and I did that. He's like, demo this to me. And then I said, generate an image of Deuteronomy 1:11. And then we went even deeper. So if you do not hear anything about AI, please go train ChatGPT with divine intelligence, please. Please go ask your prompts so that we can have more faith-based people who are in the training data. The techies out there know all about data. Your data is not secure, so secure it. Don't be afraid of AI, embrace it. Next. One more. I like that animation. These are deep, advanced AI capabilities. So if you don't know anything about AI, pick one of these and in just 1 year become an expert in that. And that will bring you all of the provision in knowledge and resources and talent. You'll have so much that you won't even be able to, you'll be sharing with everyone. So I want to put this up in front of you because you can no longer claim that you don't have access or you don't have knowledge. All right, next. Okay, AI investment. All right, so this is so funny because I generated this with AI, the beginning of it, and I was like, man, I think I seen Dre use the same AI sometime, and I love it. And so AI investment, there's 3 key areas. So this is educational. The first thing is infinite context. What that means is you can ask AI infinite amount of questions. It will continue to ask questions. You can even say, hey, AI, tell me the questions that I need to answer so that you can ask me more questions about my end goal. Whether it's building a business or do marketing or help the church grow, nonprofits. I mean, it's across every sector and every industry. And this is the founders of Google said this. Where is the future of AI going? Where will there be massive investment? The next is speak to create. Okay, this is biblical. Come on. I mean, in the beginning, God created what he spoke light and it was there. Text to speech, speech to command, speech to create. Just keep it simple. Speak to create. I want to build a robot. We were talking about a dentist scenario earlier. I want to build a 3D crown on my tooth. Printed, 5 minutes. And then finally on the bottom, this is the advanced. There's this thing called AI agents, AI assistants. So what you can do now, and I was just speaking with the head of Globant in LA, all of global engineering. I say, hey, what's the future of your engineering in LATAM, in Latin America? And he said, we're training every single one of our English and Spanish speaking developers to also train 10 AI assistants. So now every single software engineer, hear me on this, every software engineer will become an architect and they will be driving massive software integration. We're going to see incredible software in the next 1 year. And oftentimes people say, well, I'm afraid of AI. I'm afraid of what it's going to do to jobs. I'm afraid of it will inherently change the landscape and the ecosystem of how we do business, but it will create more jobs for more people that need to be trained and educated. So this is an incredible piece of information. I wish I had something like this. I wish I had this next steps sheet when I was first starting my business, because the ability to have all of these things in community is incredible. So I want to move on to the next slide and just kind of close this shop down. So let's empower us. Let's all be empowered. So first of all, what does empowerment mean? And I did have to look it up and I did use AI. Authority or power. Or authority or power, and to make someone stronger and more confident. So I want to empower you today to take action. I want to empower you to just decide. You already decided to show up here, right? So the next slide is going to show you a little bit of that. I'm going to empower you with this screenshot of AI that I use every day. Suno on the top right, it's going to completely transform music. Create a song about Obed in the desert at a pool with a Bible. And you could say country, hip hop, rap, instrumental, and it will create music. So you definitely have to check out Suno. Gemini, that's Google. Claude. Midjourney is speak to create images, all images, anything you can imagine. Photorealistic, it's insane. CapCut is just video editing. And then Beautiful.ai is presentations. Looka is a logo. If you need a logo for your business, you're brand new here, you've never had a business before, go to Looka. Make your logo today. And then people often ask, all right, what's the number one newsletter that's superhuman? Just read one newsletter and delete the rest and do everything that one newsletter says, like kind of a mantra. So we're not checking our third spam email box anyway. AI for Church Leaders is an incredible Facebook group, and then AI and Faith is the community that I'm part of. All right, the next is we're gonna bring this home. All right, so now you get to decide, right? Just like you decide to come here, just like you would decide to move to the next place. Oh yeah, this is an example. This is created in 5 minutes. All right, next slide. So decide and deploy. So I was reading a little bit, preparing for this, and this 5 levels of awareness came to me. So you're all here, so we're all not unaware. We're all aware, right? So then you might be problem aware, you may be solution aware, you may be product aware. I want to be the most aware. So raise your hands. I am the most aware. Most aware. Perfect. All right. The next piece is deployment. So how do we actually take action? And so relevance. Relevance is going to be the cornerstone of AI. You've heard it here first. Not many people are necessarily speaking about this, but it starts with community. Because you are here, because you decided to show up, you're brushing shoulders with friends, with family, with businessmen and women, with nonprofit, with ministry. I mean, there's got to be at least a couple trillion, maybe even, there's $3 trillion companies these days. So there's trillionaires in this room right now. Come on, somebody. Consulting. All right. Someone wise once told me, the coaching and consulting guys, super great. They said, David, you need to have a high ticket offer. You need something that's going to be expensive. Like if someone wants to get lunch for you, like I want to donate 10 grand to you. How do I do that? Someone recently said, why don't you have a $100,000 offer and just give so much value? It could be like a 10-year annuity. It doesn't matter. Like create something. It could just be lunch tomorrow. Like someone out there will give you money, finances, resources for what you are skilled at, what you're expert in. Content. All right. We all have a phone in front of us. Point to shoot. It's awkward. We all did it earlier today. Post that. I bet you that's going to inspire somebody. Continue to do that. And then if you can, code. If you can get a little technical, just add whatever your title is. And then at the end of it, add coder. So I'm a executive assistant coder. I'm a secretary coder. I'm a cook and coder. Right? I'm a barista coder. Yeah, there's a couple juggles. I appreciate that. I'll give you a very specific example. So Josh Russell is here, and he helped me a little bit with that aspect because he started up an AI company in just 5 business days. Guys, this is possible. If you aren't starting a business in 5 business days or less, come talk to us at the table. And ranking and being relevant in search is powering all of these AI tools. So, all right, the final slide is, I think it's a thank you slide maybe. Oh yeah, this quote. All right, this quote right here. If you don't know AI, you are going to fail, period, end of story, Mark Cuban. When I was looking at this quote, the next quote he said was like, my puppy is smarter than AI. And I thought it was kind of funny because oftentimes people say artificial intelligence is going to change the world or it's going to ruin the world. It's like, it's not in the middle. It's not like, oh yeah, we're going to see it every day and it's going to be great and it's going to do all the good. Now, oftentimes people will say, all right, if you don't know AI at all, if you don't know some practical piece of this, then you are going to fail in the story. So don't fail. It's that simple. But when you do fail, learn, get back up, come on, and keep going. Just press forward. So decide and take those small steps. All right, the way I wanted to close today was just by encouraging you to pull down everything that you heard today. I'm just the anchor, where we had 4 incredible speakers today. So I want to encourage you to, that link will give you the deck, by the way. They're putting the link up there. Perfect. Yeah. And that will give you all the resources. So you have the access. These next steps, this is incredible. Because you are here, you get access to all this for the whole year. This is incredible. Frequent guest speakers, quarterly breakfasts. I'm gonna have to come back for breakfast. And an annual summit in November, November 2025, we're gonna be back here. So I just wanted to close with this thought. It's a little bit more serious, intuitive thought. What is the one small thing that you can do today? What's the one small thing that you can do today? What's the one person that you connected with today that you're going to follow up with next week?